Let's just say the ratings aren't the same with Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever now eliminated. Game 1 of the Aces Liberty matchup on Sunday drew an average of 929,000 viewers. It's a good number for the WNBA on an NFL Sunday. However, that was down nearly 50% from last Sunday's Fever Sun contest. By the way, not only was viewership down, but attendance was as well.
The time has here. Caitlin Clark is at the center of a major shift in women's basketball. She has been setting records in the NCAA and is now making waves in the WNBA. Her journey is truly remarkable, and as she enters Europe for the first time, everyone is waiting to see how her incredible skills will perform in a completely different environment. Everyone is aware that her entry into the European League has generated more buzz than anyone could have predicted.
She needs to be on a better team.
Now it's official. Caitlin Clark has announced a lifetime contract in Europe, and she's not coming back.
Please hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe to our channel before we proceed to examine her first game. You won't want to miss any of the highlights from Caitlin Clark's European debut, so let's take a closer look. Every time she makes a three-pointer, a no-look pass, or a buzzer beater, Caitlin Clark, the rising basketball star, wins over fans' hearts from all over the world. She is becoming incredibly popular not just in the US, but also abroad.
That's out Nelson Adoda. Clark will fire and hit the three.
It has to do with how fast and lively she plays. In a society that is hungry for exhilarating experiences, brave and fiercely competitive for admirers in Europe, Caitlin Clark really delivers. Her presence is like a dream come true. In my opinion, Barcelona Basket has signed the most well-known figure in women's basketball, and they understand her importance completely. It is a unique opportunity for a player of Clark's caliber to go across the Atlantic to play in Europe. And the Spanish fans were excited for weeks about her debut game and the enthusiasm she would bring to their league. Applause. Barcelona Basket F a lot.
Barcelona Basket femení.
Recuperar el Sant Adrià.
Sí, això és minibàsquet, tenen 12 anys i han de passar aquestes coses, el seu ritme és altíssim i no és fàcil prendre decisions, però el més important és que tots els equips...
Long before she took the court, the stadium was crowded with supporters shouting her name and waving banners. But Caitlin Clark's story is not just for the fans or the game. It represents a larger movement as she represents the advancement of women's basketball players who are now given the opportunity to shine as international stars rather than just domestic ones.
Of the WNBA and the fact that NBA investors, actual NBA investors and owners, that would really be owners, are none too happy right now. And in fact, there's speculation that some of the financials are being possibly hidden, even from the owners, by the NBA and maybe Adam Silver.
When she stepped onto the court for the first time in Barcelona, it was clear that women's basketball had a brighter future than ever before. The Barcelona Basket Femení knew exactly what they were getting into when they chose to pursue Caitlin Clark. It was not just about basketball. It was a well-thought-out plan to elevate the entire European Women's Basketball League to new heights.
Listen, she's a rookie. It's going to happen whatsoever, but there's a lot of people that spent a long time building this league into what it is.
For many years, the men's teams in Europe have garnered all the attention, but now that Clark has joined the Barcelona women's team, they are ready to make their own mark in history. They felt they had discovered a unique player who only comes around once every generation and has the ability to take them to a new level.
Yeah, I thought we responded really well, and Penn State went on some runs, and we seem to always have an answer, and you got to give credit. I thought Sydney was great. I thought Kylie was great. I thought Taylor was great. You got to step up when your teammates go down, obviously playing without Molly Davis. But I think the biggest key for us was to defend the three-point line.
The club's executives moved swiftly and forcefully, showcasing Clark's picture on everything from enormous billboards to colorful social media postings. As a result, Barcelona wasn't just selling tickets. They were leading a movement.
Times Square, take a look. This Nike billboard honors the all-time NCAA Division I scoring leader. It features the caption, "This was never a long shot."
When the time came for Clark to take the court, it was evident that this was more than simply a game. It was about making history across Europe. There were lengthy lines of people waiting impatiently to watch their new idol. The WNBA has long been the pinnacle of women's basketball, but the moment Clark set foot in Europe, a profound shift began, and European teams found themselves in the spotlight. recognized in ways they never would have imagined thanks to the brilliance of one extraordinary athlete. The excitement for Clark's debut extended far beyond Barcelona's loyal supporters, with fans from the charming streets of France to the bustling markets of Turkey glued to screens, eager to see her first steps onto the European stage.
Oh, the Sue Bird, Curly Sue!
Hungary, even though they weren't competing against Clark, the atmosphere was electrifying as Sonbas supporters burst with excitement. She made an impression that went beyond the court, and social media was ablaze with videos and memes praising her. Though they may not have been present at Clark's debut, the fervent and loyal fans of Fenerbahce in Turkey were equally enthralled and closely followed every detail from a distance. Fervent conversations about the bright future of European women's basketball flourished everywhere, and Fenerbahce's management was already planning how to possibly recruit a talent like Clark in seasons to come. Monumental arrival conversations filled the air about the significance of having such a high-profile athlete in the European League women's basketball, which had previously lingered in the background, was quickly becoming the main attraction, capturing hearts and attentional light. In the midst of the thrilling excitement surrounding her first game in Europe, Clark's influence transcended national boundaries, igniting passion across the continent. However, the question remains, will Clark live up to the enormous expectations? She is not just a regular player, she has changed the definition of
The Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark, University of Iowa.
Despite her impressive accomplishments during her tenure at Iowa and her short stint in the WNBA, the European League offers a fresh obstacle in her first game in Europe. The opposing defense tried every strategy to limit her impact, but it was clear from the start that Caitlin Clark had a clear goal. The game has different rules, the play style is more aggressive, and the pressure feels heavier, but she has an amazing talent for handling pressure. In fact, she embraces it with open arms. Her confidence on the court is something to behold, whether she is sinking three-pointers from way beyond the arc or speeding through defenders to score. Caitlin Clark is more than just a basketball star. Her impact extends far beyond the court. She has the potential to have a huge economic impact in Europe, from skyrocketing ticket sales to a spike in retail sales. Clark is more than simply a player, she is a powerful brand. The demand for tickets to watch her perform has skyrocketed, and fans are scurrying to stores to buy her jerseys.
6:49 your time right now. The Caitlin Clark effect is coming to North Texas. In just hours, tickets go on sale to see the college basketball history maker in her first game in the WNBA.
She makes her debuts in the pros against the Dallas Wings, and that game is expected to sell out quickly.
Barcelona is already feeling the effects. The arrival of Clark has ignited a basketball culture in Barcelona, and the economic uplift is just getting started. However, the magic doesn't stop in Barcelona. It is also causing waves throughout European women's basketball, which is experiencing a vibrant renaissance with teams improving their marketing strategies and securing more sponsorship agreements. In the meantime, Baz Evmani's season ticket sales have doubled, and meanwhile, their social media presence has exploded, gaining followers at an unprecedented rate. As Europe warmly embraces Caitlin Clark, her influence has brought the league to a new level of notice, and the financial benefits are evident and indisputable. The WNBA is in a state of bewilderment as it considers its mistakes. Losing a great player like Clark is not a small setback, it is a huge loss for the league. She was supposed to be the driving force behind the thriving new era and the lighthouse of the WNBA's future. But now that she is gone, the league is feeling pressured to change course.
Caitlin Clark, last night, finished up one of the most remarkable years of basketball playing up.
Fans have already voiced their concerns. Many people think that the WNBA has missed their chance to keep Clark, and they are worried about what the league will do going forward. The number of spectators has been declining, and without Clark to attract crowds, there is a fear that even more fans may leave, which would make matters worse. The WNBA also faces fierce competition from European leagues, so Clark's departure feels like a nail in the coffin.
What's wrong with the WNBA? What's wrong with diversity, equity, inclusion? What's wrong with this race agenda? What's wrong with this Black Queens agenda? After what she did at Iowa her senior year, I started saying, hey, I think she's going to be the biggest star in sports.
Nonetheless, there is a glimmer of hope that a comeback is feasible since the WNBA has a number of gifted players who may still guide the lead ahead. One thing is extremely evident though. Losing Caitlin Clark serves as a vital reminder to the NBA that in order to keep its best players and prevent them from pursuing opportunities overseas, it must embrace transformative change. With Caitlin Clark shining brightly in Europe, everyone is wondering what will happen next. Will she return to the WNBA or will she decide to fortify her legacy abroad? At this point, Clark is committed to fully embracing her time in Europe, but the future is uncertain and fans around the world are eager to see where she will go next.
Couldn't make up my mind. Like, the amount of conversations we had about it was almost too many in a way, but it's a big decision, so it's like not one you want to mess up. I think the main things about Iowa that I liked is one, doing something special that's never been done before. I think that was super important.
One thing is certain, wherever Caitlin goes, there will always be a lot of excitement and energy behind her. Whether she is playing in the WNBA, Europe, or another country, Clark always leaves a lasting impression on the basketball world, and her loyal fans will support her no matter where she plays, allowing her legacy to continue to grow.
There's a reason there's almost 10,000 people here.
Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark.
Let's enjoy this amazing voyage together for the time being. A unique talent, Caitlin Clark only makes appearances once every many years, and her adventure is only getting started. Whether she ends up in Europe or her own nation, her narrative is yet to be written, full of exciting surprises and surprising conditions. Basketball fans everywhere will soon have an experience they won't soon forget, and we're eager to see what comes next. Although Caitlin Clark has already established herself as one of the greatest players in women's basketball history, the exciting reality is that she has only just begun. The entire world is now her stage, and as long as she is holding a basketball, her story will continue to develop. One thing is certain though, wherever she goes, people will be watching her, and we will be there to support every incredible moment.